Much of the conversation has been on the short and medium-term solutions. The short-term concern, though, is that the weakness of the local currency.
Dollarization only becomes an issue for us on the fuel component. The reality of life, to the extent that we're going to import the gas, and in the early stages we're going to have to import the gas because your domestic gas program is not being developed at all, we're going to have to pay for it in dollars. Okay, so we're going to have to find a mechanism of how to receive rand revenue and pay for the fuel in dollars. To the extent that there is exchange rate fluctuations, we're going to have to manage that.
This is a new area for the country. South Africa has been shielded from dollar-based primary commodities in the past.
South Africa has been lucky to be immune from that because we've had a system based on domestic fuel, on coal first, on regional hydro, priced in rands, and now in renewables, provided by God and therefore priced in whatever you want to price it at. So I think it's going to be there for fuel. But I think what's really interesting is that for the non-fuel elements, the risk of owning, building, running a power plant, we're hearing developers say they're willing to take risk on rand, and that's actually very exciting.
But potential investors are expecting some form of government involvement.
I think there is enough sophistication, provided there is a willingness on the part of Treasury, central bank particularly, to recognize what needs to be done, and provided we in the private sector recognize that it doesn't make sense for us also to overburden Treasury.
I quite like the concept of an aggregator, where a single counterparty would buy the LNG on behalf of South Africa and sell natural gas on behalf of South Africa. And in that process, they would probably buy the LNG in dollars and sell the natural gas in rand. What that would imply is that there would need to be some form of central government support or backstopping of the LNG process, perhaps Ministry of Finance, National Treasury, or perhaps the Reserve Bank.
It seems that the plan for gas to power is a two-phased approach, short-term and long-term. The issue on the short-term that is concerning investors is the exchange rate and how that's going to play out and how the government is going to attract investors into the sector. I'm Angelo Coppola for CCTV in Cape Town.